Welcome to the Mississippi State Fire Academy. Please rise and help us welcome Class 164.
Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated.
Take seats.
On behalf of the entire staff of the State Fire Academy of Mississippi, we would like to welcome you to the graduation ceremonies of the National Fire Protection Association 1001 Levels 1 and 2 Firefighter Class 164. Before we begin our ceremonies today, I would call on firefighter recruit Donald Antonio for our invocation.
I'd like everyone to bow their heads and pray with me. Heavenly Father, we appreciate the opportunity that we receive. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for bringing our friends, family, and our colleagues here today to celebrate Class 164. Heavenly Father, thank you for guiding us and showing us what we're made of this past 7 weeks. Heavenly Father, please watch over us and protect us and our families as we go into this line of duty. Just watch over us and our departments. In Jesus' name, amen.
Seven weeks ago, these men and women came to the State Fire Academy to begin their career in the fire service of this state. I'm sure it didn't take them long to find out what it would take to be a firefighter. The hard work, the teamwork, the dedication, the courage, and the sacrifice that they will need to fulfill their duties as a firefighter, not only in this state, but anywhere in the world. These men and women came to represent the future of the fire service of the state of Mississippi. And they came from all across the state of Mississippi, from the northern part of our state, Clarksdale Fire Department, North Tunica Fire Department, Batesville Fire Department, Olive Branch Fire Department, Senatobia Fire Department, Oxford Fire Department, Indianola Fire Department, Tupelo Fire Department, Greenville Fire Department, and Columbus Fire Department. From the central part of the state, Clinton Fire Department, Canton Fire Department, Pearl Fire Department, Flowood Fire Department, Brandon Fire Department, Madison Fire Department, and Byram Fire Department. From the southern part of the state, Poplarville Fire Department, Petal Fire Department, and D'Iberville Fire Department. Let's give them a hand. Men and women, you came here to start your careers in the world's most honored but yet hazardous profession. Since September the 11th, 2001, firefighters have been deemed the most prestigious occupation in America, followed by teachers and scientists. This puts you in a very elite group of people. Always remember that. Firefighting outside of wartime normally ranks the #1 most hazardous occupation in the world. It is a dangerous job. I think these 7 weeks have shown you the dangers that are there, and we only scratched the surface. There are many more once you leave us here today. You came here 7 weeks ago to learn the skill and the knowledge that you need to be a firefighter. You were trained to make a positive difference when literally seconds count. And it's usually when people are having the absolute worst days of their lives. You were trained by one of the finest training staffs assembled anywhere in the world. And they taught you 3 things: to save lives, to save property, but most importantly, to do it safely. Never forget the people that supported you, not only these 7 weeks, but the remainder of your career. Your family, your friends, the mayors of your communities, your fire chiefs, your fire departments, the instructors, not only the ones that you had for the last 7 weeks, but the ones that you will have over the next 20, 30 years. But lastly, the people that you're sworn to protect. Never forget those people. Guys and girls, this is your State Fire Academy. I want to encourage you to continue and excel in your training and knowledge. It very well could be the difference that brings you home to your family safe at night. Good luck to all of you, and thank you for choosing the fire service as your career. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon. The State Fire Academy trains close to 15,000 firefighters from across the world each year here at this facility. We've got 28 full-time instructional staff members that represent 3 instructional bureaus. I'm going to introduce to you the instructional staff members for the Certification Bureau that's trained this class for the last 7 weeks. Starting over to my left is Senior Advanced Instructor Rob Fisher, Senior Instructor Will Cockey, Senior Advanced Instructor Ricky Lee, Senior Advanced Instructor Mike Word, Instructor Barry Burnside. On the stage to my left is Senior Instructor Keith Black. And also sitting to his left is the course coordinator for this class, Senior Advanced Instructor Clarence Parks. Also, we have our administrative assistant, Ms. Rebecca Cahoon, that's over there as well. Director Bell mentioned it to you a second ago, and I echo his remarks by saying this is one of the finest training staffs you'll ever put together. You know, you look back in your department and you hope your loved ones are trained by the best guys that are out there. These are the best guys that are in the business, and my hat's off to each of them. So thank you very much for your time. I just want to say a couple things to the class as it graduates this afternoon. First off, thank you so much for filling out that application that morning and saying, hey, I think I want to be a fireman. You know, now more than ever, this country needs these people we call heroes. And each of y'all in these seats today are those people. You see, our community revolves around people like you. We are able to go to church on Sunday morning and sleep in our beds at night knowing each of y'all are on the watch inside our towns and our communities. We are in desperate need of heroes, no doubt, in this country. Thank you for choosing this. You're our heroes here at the Fire Academy. You're heroes in our cities, in our state. Thank you for choosing it and filling out that application that morning. You see, each of y'all have a certain trait that you have in you that the normal common person walking down the streets don't necessarily have. It's a little trait called courage. And I'm not talking about the kind of courage it might take to order a salad instead of a cheeseburger, or maybe get up in the morning and run an extra lap, but the kind of courage it takes to put your life down for someone else. You see, there's 3 types of people out there that has that same twitch of courage you have in you. Our law enforcement has it, our military has it, and our firefighters have it. Thank you for finding and identifying that little twitch inside of you that says, hey, when we have a bad time or the community's in a rough place, send me, I'll go. I'll be there to take care of you when you need me. So again, thank you for your service. Good luck in your careers, and God bless each of you.
Right here, right over here. You make it in, get it done. Go.
Come get it! I don't remember them saying I'd have to watch a man take his last breath with his wife and daughter at his chest, or to see a family's home go up in flames, knowing they just lost everything. But we've got to know we did our best. Go on and don't worry about the past. Try to make a difference in this crazy world today, 'cause you know God made us that way. I never thought I'd see the terror in a mother's eyes as she watched her 15-year-old die, or to feel the fire slap me in the face as it moves through this house at a steady pace. But we've got to know we did our best. Go on, don't worry about the past. Try to make a difference in this crazy world today, 'cause you know God made us that way. And I hope to God I never have to see a brother fall in battle at a fire we can't defeat. We've got to know we did our best. Go on, don't worry about past. Try to make a difference in this crazy world today. 'Cause you know God made us that way. You know God made firefighters that way.
Good afternoon, and welcome again to the Mississippi State Fire Academy. We're truly grateful to have all of you with us on today on the behalf of Class 164 and their graduation. You know, I could really stand and say a whole lot for these guys and the lady that is with us. We are so grateful for what you have brought to the table to this industry. But I'm not. We've actually chosen one that is well capable of speaking on behalf of Class 164. If you would, welcome to the stage firefighter Trace Hunt from the Pearl Fire Department as class speaker.
I appreciate you lowering that microphone, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, instructors, chiefs, instructor chiefs, captains, lieutenants, mothers, fathers. Sons, daughters. I promise this gets better. Husbands, wives, grandparents, friends. And lastly, I'm proud to say, finally, my brothers and sisters in the fire service. I stand up here today honored and humbled to be chosen as a representative to speak for Class 164 from the Mississippi State Fire Academy. It's my goal today to express to you the excitement and enthusiasm shared by my classmates and I over the job that we have done the past 7 weeks, as well as the job that we will do moving forward in our respective cities and for our the citizens of those cities. And as I was thinking about how best to convey that message to you, I decided that I can't share with you the experiences that this specific class has had at the Fire Academy. Those experiences that we've had are for us. And for us alone. So, unfortunately, I can't tell you about how many times D'Antonio prayed for baby Jesus to take him off the track so he could stop running. I can't tell you about the extreme overuse of military terminology by our captain, because that would just be too easy, wouldn't it? I can't tell you about the massive amounts of food that Austin and Colton have consumed over the past 7 weeks, or how much JoJo has lost in the back seat of cars. I can't tell you how many times we've helped Gentel find valuable objects, or about how Jimmy has absolutely no concept of time whatsoever. I can't tell you about Lance's obsession with poorly worded questions on our tests, or about how Dustin and Bradley's overactive wit kept me laughing throughout the entire class. I can't tell you about Denton's attempt to jump out of a window from the second story, but I'm sure it had something to do with Campbell's mustache. I also can't tell you that Marshall has coughed every day for exactly 6 weeks and 3 days, every single day, right in my ear. I can't tell you about Meech's unique roll calls or how Casey knows Peyton Manning. And I also can't tell you about the many times that Brittany smiled because it didn't happen. Ever. Not once. So I got to cop out on that. So what can I tell you? I can tell you that over 7 weeks, 27 people made a choice. We chose not to quit no matter what. We chose to become better than average. We chose to hone a craft that will be the difference between life and death for ourselves and for people that we've never met. We chose to be ready at any time to give the ultimate sacrifice for others and for each other. We chose to be the ones to answer when people call for help. We chose to be a team, to be strong, to be ever ready. To be brave and to be heroic. Our instructors, they helped us reach that goal today. They got us here, and they've guided us for the future. And now, as we prepare to walk out those gates, we have another choice. We must choose to be those men and women every day. It's my great privilege to call you brothers and sisters. And as my family, I challenge you as I challenge myself. Will we go further now? Will we become better? Will we be ready? I would stand and fight beside every one of you, proudly. And I know as we become better, we will never forget what we've been through here, what we've done, and where we'll go. Instructor Cocky, Instructor Trimble, Instructor Burnside, Instructor Fisher, Instructor Black, Instructor Lee, and our coordinator, Instructor Parks. Class 164 thanks you for the work, for the belief, and for the knowledge. We will go and make you proud. So, I would like to leave all of you with this. Your trust in Class 164 is warranted. My family will not quit. We will not stop. We will not yield. We will fight. We will give everything that we have, and we will be ready. We will be ready because that's our choice. And we're proud of that choice. Because as of today, we're firefighters. I love you guys. Thank you.
I cannot tell you what that means to me. And truly a surprise to know that Trace rather, is a crybaby. I would have never thought that Trace would be a crybaby. If I had an award to give for the one that would kind of be of I don't want to say a class clown, but definitely knows how to be witty and keep the class laughing, he would definitely be in the top 3. So again, thank you so much, Trace, for those heartfelt words and words of encouragement to your class. And I think it truly represents who you guys are as a whole. So thank you so much. Again, as the class coordinator, I have been honored to serve in this capacity, to help to bring you guys from week 1 to where you are today, sitting in the midst of a crowd of loving people, family, friends, chiefs, training officers, to be able to, in just a few minutes, walk across this stage and receive your certification as a firefighter for the state of Mississippi. I'm truly honored. And just to briefly give you an understanding of how these cadets came together, we had to look inside to pick a few people that will assist us because it is such a large group. And we had to choose a captain and a couple of lieutenants to assist us with that. We've chose for the captain of class 164, Casey Livingston of the North Tunica Fire Department. Lieutenant Jordan Campbell and Lieutenant Colton Seymour. These guys really helped us to move the class from location to location, transferring information, making sure that they had exactly what they needed to be able to bring this class to where they are today. So we truly thank you guys so much for your assistance. Over the past 7 weeks, we've taken I guess an accumulation of somewhere between 38 and 42 comprehensive tests, and that includes their finals. That's a lot of studying, and I'm sure that a lot of the family members that are here today have missed talking on the telephone or just being in the same quarters with your loved ones, but they needed the isolation. They needed to be able to get some time to study. And with that, it becomes competitive. And surprisingly, that even in their comprehensive grades, it's just as competitive as you would find many of your athletes. And with the GPA, the highest GPA of class 164, we've tallied up the grades, and the highest GPA winner is awarded to Miss Brittany McKinney, Oxford Fire Department. It's very close. I think it was separated by about 1.5 points. So we truly thank all of those for all of your studies and again, making this class what it has been thus far. Also, we like to test our students to see where they are physically. And we do a physical assessment. We try to 3 to 4 times out of the 7 weeks. And with the most physical fit award, that's actually going to Jordan Campbell, the Lieutenant, Clarksdale Fire Department. There's one more award. And as I was just kind of reading over the award, it was, I go back to, I guess, the first time that I've heard the slogan pretty much put together for this campus. And I truly thank our director, Reggie Bell, for that. As you get ready to leave today, you'll see a sign that's standing out front that says, "Have you made a difference today?" We have an award. I like to think of it now as the Jonathan R. Bell Award, the Making a Difference Award. And we've actually went through the class and asked them to vote for that person that they felt made a difference in this class. That award goes to Demetrius Garrett, Senatobia Fire Department. We also have a class flag. This class flag over here represents the togetherness of this group. And it's not just awarded on day one. They have to come together before they're even given an attempt to receive this flag. So at this time, we're going to ask the captain if he would retrieve their class flag. And he will present this class flag to the director of the Mississippi State Fire Academy, Director Reggie Bell.
At this time, Class 164 will return the flag back to the Mississippi State Fire Academy.
You know, that flag looks like a simple piece of nylon, but the Class 164, it instills your brotherhood in the fire service at this State Fire Academy where you started forever and ever. You are now in the halls. The Mississippi State Fire Academy is a division of the Mississippi Insurance Department. Insurance Commissioner and State Fire Marshal Mike Chaney wanted to be here today, but he is out of town. But he wanted me to pass along to each one of you how proud he is of you and how much he thanks you for your dedication to helping the citizens of the state of Mississippi. Our guest speaker today has been around for several years, let me just say. He started out his career with the Tupelo Fire Department, where he served for 15 years. In that time, he also served as the chief of the Sherman Volunteer Fire Department and Pontotoc County Fire Coordinator for 4 years. He's currently the fire chief of the city of Brandon, Mississippi. He has more than 1,000 hours of training here at the State Fire Academy and hundreds of hours with the National Fire Academy and other training entities around this nation. He is also trained in law enforcement and emergency medical services. He currently holds an Associate of Applied Science in Fire Science. He holds a bachelor's degree in Applied Science and Emergency Management. And he's currently pursuing a Master's of Arts of Organizational Leadership and Emergency Management at Waldorf University. In 2012, the Mississippi Burn Foundation named him Fire Chief of the Year. He's currently serving as the first vice president of the Mississippi Fire Chiefs Association, representing over 750 fire departments in the state. Please help me make welcome Fire Chief Terry Wages.
Thank you, Director Bell. Thank you, everyone, and good afternoon. It's a privilege and an honor to be here today to celebrate and congratulate Class 164 in their successful completion of their basic firefighter training here at the Mississippi State Fire Academy. Each of you made the decision to become part of the best profession in the world. And by doing so, you've committed to challenges that will follow you once you return back to your respective departments. After being asked to speak here today at your graduation ceremony, I began to reflect back on my own experiences and how I could offer you a glimpse into the future and what to expect as you move through your career. So I asked myself, what could I say to you today that will be of the greatest use to you as you journey out into this great profession? Eventually, I decided I wanted to speak to you as if I was giving advice to my own children, hoping for their best outcomes, just as I hope for yours as you start along this new and exciting journey. It's taken you almost 2 months to get to this day, the day you graduate from the Fire Academy. You worked so hard and dedicated so much time, and your family stood by your side through the good days and the tough ones. But now what? You may be asking yourself, where do I go from here? How do I stay sharp and protect everything that I've gained? How do I get better? How am I going to stay safe? Hopefully, I can help you answer some of these questions from my own experiences. I know one thing, and I can tell you with all certainty, is that when you return home, expect your communities, your department, your shift, and your company to be counting on you when the calls come in. Now, I don't just mean being there physically, but also being there mentally, emotionally, and in the right mindset to be prepared and ready to take action. When you're called to perform your duties, your communities are counting on you to be at your best to fix the problem, whatever that problem might be. So there is absolutely no room for complacency or reluctance to act. Keep in mind when the call comes in, there are no breaks, there's no timeouts until the problem is either eliminated or at least resolved in the public's best interest. Therefore, it's imperative that you continually seek to master your skills and maintain physical condition. Another key element to seek out is knowledge from your chiefs, captains, lieutenants, and senior firefighters. Asking for mentoring for the knowledgeable people within your department. There are reliable mentors in every department, but you must take the first step, the initiative to seek them out and benefits from the guidance they can provide. For that is the foundation of being a great firefighter. Always be willing to learn, always be competent, and always be ready to act. This is the opportunity you have to make a difference, a positive difference in someone's life. So allow me to give you 4 have-tos, as I see them, as you prepare to leave this campus and return back to your assigned companies. First, you have to be smart, you have to be safe, you have to be strong, and you have to be steady. Today's fire service is an educated profession. It demands that you be smart. Smart in your willingness to listen and learn. Smart in your decision making. Smart in your techniques and trade craft. Smart in your methods to teach and mentor. And finally, smart in helping to build your organization. Second, we have to be safe. Safe in our training, safe on the fire ground, safe in our day-to-day duties, and most importantly, be mindful for the safety of others. Thirdly, we have to be strong, and I don't just mean physically strong. Instead, be strong in your faith, strong in your commitment, strong in seeking out knowledge, strong in supporting your crews, and most of all, strong in the love and care you have for your families. Lastly, we have to be steady. We're what brings calm to a person or community in panic. By this, know that we have to be dependable, consistent, reserved, and steady in all that we do. If you stay in this profession long enough, you will have another person's life in your hands. And it's at that point, that very moment in time, when your decisions will make all the difference. At this point, I'd like to share a brief story with you. This encounter took place following my return back to my own department after finishing the training here at this academy. The first night on shift, we caught a commercial fire, which turned out to be a kitchen fire in a large hotel in our city. Upon arriving, we quickly realized that a large portion of the building was engulfed in flames. I began to remember my training, grabbed an attack line, and fell in behind my captain to make entry. My adrenaline was through the roof as we crouched down to go through the doorway. About 20 feet into the structure, we found the fire, and without hesitation, we began extinguishing it After several minutes, the fire was out and we started making our way back out the door to start the overhaul. The very next shift I came in, put my bag on the bed, made my way to the engine bay to check my gear and before I started my morning duties. While I was performing those duties, I couldn't help but be in a great mood, greeting and joking with each person as they funneled by me into the station. Suddenly, my captain at the time stopped as he walked by and hesitated just for a few seconds before saying, "You sure are in a great mood this morning, Wages." I replied, "Yes, sir." He then said, "You really like this job, don't you?" I said, "Yes, sir. Being a firefighter is the greatest job I could imagine." The captain then hesitated and said, "Oh, yeah, well, I do know one job that's better than being a firefighter." Somewhat confused, I asked him, really? What job could that possibly be? The captain slowly answered and with a slight smile said, "Being an old firefighter." Of course, this flew right over my head at the time. So I thought to myself, who wants to be an old firefighter? But what I said to him was, maybe one day I can be an old firefighter. That's all I knew to say. The captain laughed and with a serious look said, "Let's hope so." That exchange with my captain has stuck with me to this day. I realize that many of the veteran firefighters here today may have probably heard that statement or at least a version of it. But at the time it resonated through me as I realized I'd just been taught something important. We all want to become old firefighters. That means we've been smart, successful, and sometimes just very fortunate to remain in this wonderful profession. Part of that comes from the accumulated experience we build throughout our careers, but most of all, it comes from how and what we learn from those experiences, both our successes and our failures. And trust me, you will have failures in the fire service because we're trained to take chances, to quantify risk versus benefit, and sometimes the inaccuracies of those chances we take will unfortunately lead to failures. But most of becoming an old firefighter stems from understanding the tried and true recipe of success in the fire service. If it hasn't already, it will become even clearer when you realize that we are a very diverse group. Each person brings a different perspective of how things are done and how we fit into the organization and function as part of the team. Regardless of your individual journey through the fire service, there are two factors that you must always be present in your thoughts. They go beyond the have-tos and include the concepts of investment and humility. Both point back to exactly what I said at the beginning about being competent and ready to act. As an investment, I'm not talking about finances or money investments. Instead, I'm talking about these simple points. Invest in your faith because you will call upon it many times during your career in the fire service. You will see things and be required to do things that for some is just too much to handle. Remember this, reach out, don't bottle it up. Invest in your family because it will become easier and easier for you to shut them out simply because you don't want them to be exposed to the realities of what you will be required to see and do. Find support in the ones you come home to after each shift. Invest in your crew because without them, you're just an individual wondering what I should do next. Remember, it's not about you, it's about the team and what will best serve the entire organization as well as the community you serve. And finally, invest in yourself by constantly seeking out training, education, and experiences that will ultimately make you a better firefighter and a stronger member of the team. One absolute practice that will put you way ahead of the game is simply this: pay attention. Begin your career by listening to the folks that have been there and done it. Only second to investment is the need to mind your own humility. Always maintain a humble attitude of service. After all, your success as a firefighter is not just a reflection on you as a person, but more the service and sacrifices made by the ones that came before you. Be prepared to add your humble service to that honorable legacy and not just take from it. Regardless of how much you think or how much you know or how good you have become at your job, you still will stand alone and be less capable without the support of the team. One quote that always comes to mind when I'm talking about humility is from John Maxwell. Folks really don't care how knowledgeable you are until they can see and understand how much you care. Another piece of advice to consider is always give credit to others for success, but stand ready to take the blame when things go wrong. You see, a great firefighter is also one that doesn't run from, but rather learns from their mistakes. Now, I know that much of what I said today can be forgotten over time. That's to be expected. But the part I urge you to remember goes back to my experience with the old firefighter. You see, I now have become the old firefighter. Each day I go to work with my focus to lead a culture that encourages the learning and teamwork, all the while confirming to my fellow firefighters that experiences are the ultimate reward that comes from serving our community, a goal that each of us should continually pursue. But most of all, my desire is that each of you will one day become an old, experienced, mentoring firefighter. If you get to that point, it means you've made smart decisions, practiced safety, stayed strong for the team, and calm and steady every time you were called upon. In other words, you've been successful in the fire service. In closing, I'd like to share the meaning of the words written under the little scroll under the eagle of the Fire Academy seal. While in Latin, it reads, Scientia causa servante cum honore. Translated into English means knowledge for service with honor. So from this point forward, take the knowledge you've been given by your instructors, build on it every day, and use it throughout your career that pays honor to the fire service for which each of you are now officially a part of. Again, congratulations to you all. Thank you for this opportunity today and the small part I could play in your send-off into the Mississippi Fire Service. Thank you for your willingness to serve, and most of all, thank you for your commitment to be there for your communities in times of need. May God bless each of you, our fire service, and this great nation we all share. Thank you.
Class 164, up team, shoot! Line up, place! Forward, mark! Company! 164! Left! 164! Move out, roll out! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 28, 29. Class 164, all present and accounted for. Sir!
William C. Ainsworth. Joseph Barlow. Howard Bowling. Valentino E. Butler. Jordan Campbell. Andrew J. Carthage. Justin Collins. James N. Cotton. Jatarius L. Curry, Sr. Donald D'Antonio. Austin Dennis. Joseph A. Denton. Colton Ferguson. Caleb E. Flanagan. Demetrius D. Garrett. Jimmy L. Gilliland II. Gentle D. Hassel III. Charles D. Helmick. Marshall Herron. Trace Hunt. Dustin Langford. Casey D. Livingston. Brittany McKinney. Michael Robin. Colton W. Seymour. Bradley Striplin. And Lance R. Vaught.
Ladies and gentlemen, by the power invested in the Mississippi State Fire Academy by the laws of the state of Mississippi, I now award Class 164 the designation of firefighters in the state of Mississippi. God bless you all. That now concludes our ceremony today. I want to thank you for all your support you've given these men and women throughout their lives and continued. Again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and hope everybody has a safe trip home. God bless everybody. Thank you.